Here I am going to give you all the secrets about my one clip, easy sectioning for my blow dries. The first thing that I'm going to do is section the hair off into quadrants. Only in my mind's eye, I'm just showing the camera for reference. I want to know where these 4 quadrants live on the head, just so I know how to perform my pre-dry with accuracy. In my pre-dry, I'm focusing on drying the roots to 100%. I want to move through each quadrant one at a time as I truck and trailer my brush and my blow dryer, focusing on each side of the quadrant as I push that water away from the scalp towards the midshaft and ends. My objective here is not to dry the midshaft and ends, only to get the root of each quadrant dry to almost 100%. I'm going to move my way around the head, focusing on one quadrant at a time, making sure the roots are dry before I move on to the next. Again, this is why I section the hair in the beginning, just to use those sections as a reference point. I always want to make sure that I'm truck and trailering my blow dryer quickly over the scalp, so that way I don't focus the heat too long in one area and I avoid burning my client. I'm going to use my clip to draw the first section for my blow dry, called the almond section. The almond section leaves out about 1 to 2 inches around the hairline, all the way from the nape to the natural part. Be sure that the hair you leave out is no wider than the diameter of your round brush. This is going to help you keep control of the hair as you're blow drying. Make sure you keep those partings nice and clean. Clean partings are going to help you with a nice, detailed, and precise blowout that's always in your control. Here's what your almond section should look like. The first section we always start with is the fringe. This is for several reasons. One, we want to give high presentation value to our clients right up front. This also gives us the opportunity to see some of the most important features of the color or the cut that you just did. This means you don't have to blow dry the entire head before you realize that you may have made an error or need to adjust something before moving forward. Before starting your pre-dry, you should have dressed your client with the correct product, so that way when you pull that brush through the hair at maximum tension, it still glides. If it feels gritty, rough, sticky, or tangly, you either may have applied the wrong product, too much product, or you may need to go back and re-groom and brush through the section before you use your round brush. Always lay the fringe to rest in the opposite direction of how the client normally wears their hair. This is going to help increase the volume and shape the fringe as hair sets. Taking the next section opposite of where your fringe is resting, use maximum tension to project out at a 90. Use little C-shaped motions with your blow dryer to push the water away from the root down the hair shaft. Notice how I'm not shaking my blow dryer back and forth or side to side. If you really want a quick blow dry, make sure that all of your motions are intentional. This means the nozzle of your blow dryer is always pointed at a 45 down the hair shaft. Notice how I'm also blow drying each side of the section before I move on to the other, meaning top, bottom, left, and right. Be sure to finish and smooth out those ends with a round brush, wrapping them several times, making sure they're completely dry before wrapping that round brush up to the scalp with maximum tension and using the cool setting to set the look. Once cool, wrap the round brush in the direction that you want the curl to live to let it set, and simply rest it on the guest's shoulder. You're going to repeat these steps as you move your way around the head, making sure that your sections are no larger or wider than your round brush. Once the perimeter is complete, part at the nape and rest the hair in front of the shoulders. The next section we call the horseshoe. You're going to section 1 to 2 inches on the left, right, and bottom portions of the almond. On the crown, you'll now see that your last section is in the shape of a rectangle. Again, notice how we're checking the size of the round brush with the size of the section. You do not want your round brush to be any smaller than the size of the section that you're taking to blow dry. A round brush that is too small or a section that is too large will cause tangling and discomfort for the client. This also brings poor presentation value when we don't look like we have control of our sectioning. The horseshoe is where you want to start utilizing your over direction and projection to increase the volume and shape for the desired look. Remember, heat plus tension equals shape, so make sure you keep maximum tension on the hair with the round brush while implementing the desired shape for the overall look. Your last and final section will be addressing the rectangle on the crown. Simply take horizontal partings no wider than the size of your round brush and move your way from the back up to the front, one section at a time, applying maximum tension, maximum over direction, and maximum elevation to increase volume according to the desired finished look. Once you've completed the last section in the crown, simply take a portion of the fringe and marry it to that section for refinement. This will give you a finished polished look for your blowout, ensuring an eye-catching money piece for your client before they walk out the door. Always finish your blowout by addressing the fringe one last time, making sure that it's detailed to perfection.